Less than 2 months ago, China Eastern Flight 5735 dived dramatically out of the sky, as you can see in this video on your screens. It was captured on CCTV. It gave people sleepless nights, wondering how could an aircraft suddenly dive out of the sky. 132 people, including the pilots, were killed in that accident. And earlier yesterday, the black box was finally analyzed and interpreted, and it carried within it an absolute horror story that every air passenger needs to hear. Take a look. The most devastating aviation images in decades. Silently screaming at nearly the speed of sound, the world still remembers how CCTV cameras captured these terrifying final moments of China Eastern Flight 5735, which crashed in March in southern China. The video capturing the plane plummeting like a spear, almost perpendicularly into a mountainside. And now, nearly 2 months after the crash that killed all 132 people on board in a blazing flash, every air traveler's worst nightmare has become real. Flight data obtained from the black box indicates that someone in the cockpit intentionally crashed this aircraft. In other words, the Boeing 737 was deliberately thrown into that deadly nosedive, very likely by one of the pilots, with the suicidal intention to destroy the plane. China's deadliest aviation disaster in 28 years now becomes a horror story for passengers around the world. While it is theoretically possible that someone may have entered the cockpit and overpowered the pilots into a suicide mission, the bigger likelihood is that one or both of the pilots may have executed this devastating act. The glare is now on captain of the flight, Yang Hongda, the lead pilot on the plane, and his first officer. With investigations now headed down a much more troubling dark path over just why the pilot or pilots could have done such a thing. US officials who analyzed data from the black box flight recorders found amidst the wreckage said that the deliberate input from the cockpit forced the Boeing 737 into its catastrophic dive. Authorities said that the pilots of the plane did not respond to repeated calls from air traffic controllers and nearby aircraft during that devastating descent. Preliminary findings are not just a terrible blow to families of the 132 persons who perished in the crash, but a troubling new nightmare for millions of air passengers boarding flights all around the world. With the world of passenger air travel still grappling with the troubling mystery over Malaysian Airlines MH370's disappearance 8 years ago, the truth of what happened in the cockpit of China Eastern Flight 5735 will keep the world of air travel more sleepless than ever. Bureau Report, India Today.